can understand why sport utility vehicles are so popular. They combine chunky, trendy looks with 4x4 practicality and that oh-so-important street cred. 99% of the time, none of these will see any off-road action. These vehicles are very much for the urban jungle. That's why, for the purposes of this test, we're sticking strictly to tarmac. Starting with Toyota, who are first in the game with the trendy RAV4. It may have four-wheel drive, but it's always been considered more GTI, the mud plugger with those curvy looks. It comes with 3 or 5 doors. Now the competition's hotting up. The CR-V is Honda's first European off-roader. The new kid on the block only has part-time four-wheel drive, but it's crammed with innovative features. Subarus are better loved by country folk than townies. Fashion is not what the Forester is about. It's more down to earth, but its workmanlike looks belie its off-road pedigree. The first thing that strikes you about the Forester is its long, low, estate car looks. I mean, you could best describe, I think, the front as undistinguished. For me, it's too chunky to be a estate car, but not high enough or trendy enough to be a four-wheel drive. I suppose you could best describe it as quirky. Some of the features, well, it's got frameless windows, it's got a whole plethora of cubby holes, 20 in all. The back seats fold down with the head restraints still attached, which is very useful. At the back, it's the only one with a conventional tailgate and also a load cover. More cubby holes, a power point, and underneath here, your very own black plastic washing up bowl. Now, in all my years of motoring, I've never felt the necessity of one of these, but then perhaps I just don't have that Subaru mindset. So let's see what it's like on the road. Well, the Forester handles much more like a car than a four-wheel drive, hence you don't get the same amount of body roll. Its flat-bore engine is unique in its class, and it's great for pulling at low revs, and I find it very refined. It's really, I suppose, a good steady slogger rather than an exciting drive. It's got a separate low ratio gearbox, which means that if the mood takes you, you can go off-road. But obviously with the low ground clearance, there is limited potential for rugged, pioneering kind of stuff. The interior is a bit basic and a bit plasticky, and I do find that the switches are really a bit tacky. I suppose the only way to sum up the interior is to say it's pretty undistinguished, really. The thing that drives me really mad, though, is the view from the rear view mirror. Those head restraints just seem to dominate your view. The base model costs $16,400, which seems quite good value. But this one we're driving with all the kit, like side airbags and air conditioning, costs $18,400, which I think seems quite a lot, but maybe Subaru fans will think it's worthwhile. The CR-V is the tallest of the trio, looking spacious on the outside, and it turns out to be just like that on the inside. Stepping from the Subaru into the Honda is very much more like getting to a four-wheel drive because of the high driving position. In terms of the engine, it's got a gruff 2-litre engine, quite revvy, which I personally found rather rough. And because of the size and height of the vehicle, well, it has got quite a lot of roll, particularly when you go around corners. There's loads of space with a light open cabin and great visibility, which means, of course, it's very easy to park. The interior has been really well put together, and all the controls have a good, solid feel to them. And there's some really nice touches, like this flip-up table and some very good, useful storage just underneath the dashboard. This really does have a feel of an expensive car. Now, this particular model we're testing is $17,320, and with that you get alloy wheels, air conditioning, and lots of extras. The Honda CR-V's looks have grown on me. He's a handsome, rugged sort of a chap. And in fact, very much more an off-roader in terms of shape and height than the Subaru. And it too has lots of interesting features, like, for example, a split tailgate and lots of gadgets. Like the tailgate power point, which means an optional, albeit cold shower is always available. Cool drinks too can be on tap with a plug-in fridge. And a fold-out picnic table cunningly hidden in the boot means you can take tea anywhere, bone china not included. It makes the CR-V perfect for country or beach, which is probably where the Toyota belongs. It's the oldest design here, but is still considered a hip set of wheels. I must say, I've always been a fan of the RAV4. In fact, Toyota say that half the owners of the RAV4 are female, and you can see why. It's easy to drive, it's got a good high driving position, but it's not quite as obviously macho as the more traditional off-roader. Like the Subaru, it has permanent four-wheel drive, but lacks its solid feel, and the ride is harsh and noisy. It's certainly more basic than both its competitors. Compared to the Honda, the interior is flimsy and under-equipped, and Toyota appear to agree with us because a major revamp is planned very soon. It'll get air conditioning, ABS, and a bit less plastic. The interior is less spacious and has none of those clever little cubbyholes that the others have, and it certainly doesn't run to either washing up bowl or a shower. This one, pre-revamp, is £17,432. That's £200 more than the Honda. Toyota may have started ahead of the game, but its rivals have caught up with it. I have to say that when I started this road test, I was convinced that I would ultimately make the RAV4 my choice. But having driven all three, if I wanted a trendy off-roader that was easy to live with and that drives like a car, there's no question the Honda wins, hands down.